Hey everyone, there's something we need to talk about. I've wanted to make this video for a long time, but for one reason or another, I've been unable to push myself to make it and been putting it off. Better late than never though, and I think the time is now. Here we go. I'm trans. I am a transgender woman, and my name is Iris. My pronouns are she, her. It's been so long since I've wanted to say this to you all. I only realized this in May, but the signs were there my whole life. I'm so happy to finally know who I am, and I'm happy that you get to meet the real me now as well. I'm still going to be hyperneutrino on here for now, but only time will tell whether I decide to change that. I'm going to keep uploading the same type of content, and I'll still be doing the Advent of Code, so none of that is changing. I ask that you please refrain from using any masculine terms for me like bro, dude, man, guy, etc., even if it is part of your regular vocabulary. I had to unlearn that speech pattern myself, so I personally get that it's not necessarily easy, so thank you. For as long as I can remember, and this was so long ago that I don't even remember how young I was, I've wanted to be a girl. Growing up in a Christian household, I never exactly learned what trans people are, and being gay was always only brought up as sinful and with disdain. I've always been jealous of girls my age and always wanted to fit in with them. I grew up fitting into the role of a boy, but I've never felt like a guy doing things, and honestly, I hardly even feel like my past was a part of my own life. I've spent the past few years constantly wishing I was born as a girl and daydreaming about being a girl in reality. And although it's been years since I knew about trans people, and years since I unlearned my queerphobic upbringing, it somehow never crossed my mind. In May, I was talking to my mother about a trans coworker of hers, and I asked her what she thought of trans people. She told me she was okay with them, but wouldn't want that of her own kids. I asked her whether she'd stick to that or change her mind if one of us were trans, and she told me she'd probably change her mind. And I think that's what it took to be able to finally accept myself for who I've always been, because that night I finally realized. To be honest, it was easy at first, realizing that I now had an answer to why I never truly felt happy, and why I was never comfortable with my body, my voice, and myself in general, and it felt like I finally had what felt like a solution. Over time, it's only gotten harder though, realizing that many people will never just see me as a girl, but always as just a trans girl, how I'd basically have to grow up a second time and relearn all aspects of life, and how I'd have to live with self-doubt about who I truly am forever. Although arguably, everyone does to an extent. I mentioned that I grew up in a household where gay people were seen as unnatural and sinful, and trans people too when I finally even learned that they exist. Despite that, I came out to my parents in early October, and they did actually accept me. They had some concerns and a lot of questions, but ultimately they accept me for who I am, and I hope the internet will do the same. My girlfriend has given me so much support through this entire time, and I could not have done all of it without her. I even wrote part of what I was going to say in this video while sitting next to her, and she's been there to give me the push I needed to do the things that I decided were right for me, every single time, including making this video itself. I'm so lucky to have supportive friends and a loving relationship and parents that accept me, but not everyone has the same. And to anyone out there who's also queer, I hope my story can give you hope, and I hope that you can find the support, acceptance, and love that you deserve. Thank you for being a part of this community.